She was 15 years old when she first started gaining attention online. By the time she was 17, she had signed 2 record deals with 2 separate labels without knowing what either of them said. Now, she's 19 years old and she's in the middle of a legal battle that should have never been hers to fight. My name is Bayo Ishola. I'm an entertainment lawyer. I'm your host for Afropop Law. And today, I want to talk about Qing Madi. Not the music, the deal. Here's what actually happened, yeah? Stripped of the social media noise. Chimamanda Pearl Chukwuma Qing Madi, as we all know her, when she was 15 years old, she became popular online, yeah? Got waves, serious waves. And then she got discovered by Richie Music Empire. She signed with Richie Music Empire. Then while that contract was still running, she signed again, this time around with JTon Music and Columbia Records. That's the deal that gave us C Finish, that gave us Ole, that gave us American Love. The deal that makes her name. Now, she's 19 years old, and then she says JTon sued her for $1 million. She says she won the case, but shortly after that, her song was taken down off digital streaming platforms. Then she went on Instagram, and she said her ex-label is trying to ruin her career. And then we said, again, this feels familiar, because it is familiar. We did it with Cynthia Morgan. We did it, the band had his various disputes. There are a lot of other names that I can call. But you see, Qing Madi's version of this story, it carries something that others didn't. She was a minor when the foundation for all of this was laid. And that changes everything legally, yeah? Because you see, under Nigerian law and under most legal systems across the world, a minor does not have contractual capacity. That means a minor cannot enter into a contract. It means that any contract that a minor executes, that contract is voidable. Not completely void, it is voidable. What it means is that that minor can choose to walk away from that contract. Here is where the industry takes advantage of that gap. You see, most minors who sign record deals, they do not know that they can walk away from that deal. And then by the time that they realize that they can actually walk away from that deal, the label has already built serious infrastructure around their name, around their brand, around their catalog. And at that point, the price for walking away has become too enormous. That is not a coincidence. That is a design. There's also the overlapping contracts problem. You see, signing with JTon while still bound to Richie Music Empire, that did not only create a dispute with JTon, that also created a situation where there are 2 contractual obligations pulling from either side with a teenage girl in the middle of it. Without independent legal representation, she had no way to see that coming. And now, the copyright takedowns. This is the part of the gist that deserves its own story entirely. You see, using intellectual property law as a weapon in such disputes is one of the most sophisticated and most destructive ways by which a label can harm an artist. Kill the streams, take the song off the platforms, kill the momentum, kill the revenue without a single phone call. Qing Madi said something on Instagram that I keep coming back to. She said, "I'm just 19 years old. Leave me alone." That should not actually be a controversial request. But in an industry where the standard practice is to sign the youngest, the most unrepresented, the most commercially hungry artist that you can find, it is. No artist should have to navigate $1 million lawsuit at 19 because nobody was in the room to advise them properly when they signed that deal at 15. The law gives minors protection. The industry takes advantage of the fact that those minors do not know about it. You see, that gap between the rights that exist on paper for artists and what plays out in contract rooms is the gap that Afropop and Law exists to close. My name is Bayo Eshola. Subscribe, follow, and share this with a young artist that you know that is about to sign a deal. Because if the deal that you signed is wrong, then everything you're about to build on it is going to be built on sand. Thank you for watching. See you on the next one.